That's sort of the game. In Aikido, that's the game. Supposedly, also, it's possible that a lot of the inner, better level of yourself has been omitted, or people do a little bit and then go out there more and more and more, and sort of forgot what the more of the inner is would be my bitch. Anyway, any comments on last week? Any carryover? Rah? Talk. You can open mic. Feel free to speak. What'd you get out of last week?
Well, I'll start off, Sensei. This is Lauren. I found it a really lively discussion, and I was impressed by the consistency of the insight from the three different people. But that was my first impression, and I'm sure other people had more to say.
We're waiting for them to say something. Hello out there.
You could always just call on somebody.
Yeah, I might.
What did you say, Danny?
Hey, Danny.
Good to see you again. Yeah, last was very enjoyable. It was interesting listening to the three people. I guess on the other side of what I'm doing, I'm receiving help in a medical way, and in particular at the moment with acupuncture, and with someone who very much works with me, and she deepens the level that she's working at whilst I deepen the level that I receive, and I use the system that you've been showing us, Sensei, of self and the domain. And I found that, first of all, very encouraging for me as a person, that I can work in a really positive way with my own healing. And of another particular interest is how I feel self, and how it communicates back to me as I dialogue with it and request the help of the healing self in my recovery. And also the remarkable thing that I find about it is that it's so, every time I'm engaging or I get to that deeper part of myself, how different it is every time. And in particular, how it looks and how it receives me, and how I'm affected by it in a very, very strong way. Often I feel pulled away, like into my head, and I'm always reminded to deepen and deepen, as you suggest, and feel. And the feeling part of it is most enlightening, to the depth of feeling that I'm able to experience. And
Right.
I would say that my healing is not going as I would like it to go. However, the feedback from other people, lots of other people, is that, hey, you're looking great and you're doing really well. So better their feedback than mine, I think, sometimes.
Yes, it's normal that you're the last one to know. So either those people are lying to you, which is a possibility, but do be prepared for, you're the last one to know. I mean, if somebody says, wow, you're really being nice lately to me, for example, I'd be, really? Because I'm the last one to know if there's such a change. Also, you use the word pulled out from this inner pulled out. I might also say pushed out, because this inner is more closer to a source of more everything. Power, for example. It has a lot of pushability. So I kind of would consider that more of being a pushed out. So I've got to hit it better and fuller and experience it more. Or anchor, for lack of words. Don't know if that's a good word, but to anchor there at that level. Okay. If you keep hovering around saying, well, I'm talking to myself, you might be hovering around and ping, it pushes. To self is experiencing itself. So after a bit, I would stop maybe talking to self and feel what and experience self, which is me, experiencing itself kind of thing. I don't know, is it talking to itself? I don't know. But to talk to it puts you on a spiral around it that'll be easier to get kicked off. So to be it, feeling itself, experiencing itself, and yes, it's dialoguing there with itself kind of thing. Don't know if I said that well at all, but.
No, that's great.
Anything.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is Florida Diane on tonight?
I'm sorry, Sensei, Linda had her hand raised.
Okay.
Hi there, not Diane.
Hey.
Was surprised to see myself pop up. Thank you. Yeah, this was a small thing from last week, but it really struck me. One of the things that got me thinking of things in a little different way is when you, I believe it was you, were talking about how we have too many spiritual rules about like prerequisites and stepwise. We have to be a perfectly loving person before we can.
Yeah.
Whatever, that there's a, it's so prescribed. We can't just go bam and change something or become aware of something. So I've been just noticing that.
Yeah. No, I think it's again a human condition where those rules, whatever the right word is for that, can be a hindrance a certain way. So to come to better terms with them, I'm lacking words about that at the moment. But yeah, that's why I throw out my old story. I'd like to meditate, but my understanding is you have to be loving to meditate. I mean, that's it. Bing, no nado allowed here, which turned out to be bullshit. But there was that belief. I must have heard it from someplace, read it someplace, and it was keeping me out.
Or sit on the right kind of cushion or whatever.
Sit this way.
Yeah.
So whatever. Yeah.
So thank you. That sort of opens things up.
Should be so. Yeah, should be so. It's there. It's you. It's yours. Yeah. Anyway.
Thank you.
Thank you. Again, is Florida Diane?
She's not here, Sensei. And
Not here.
someone else has their hand raised.
Okay.
You're on, Ken.
Hi, Bob.
Hey.
Yeah, I actually throughout the years, I've had experiences where I've had healings happen on these different levels that you talked about in the even though that was the model, I realized that wasn't the whole thing that you were talking about. But it sort of reminded me that it's possible that we feel unwell for some reason, and maybe maybe you're not eating the right food. Maybe there's a simple biological cause, and maybe you tweaked your something doing something, but maybe the symptoms coming from a more subtle level, and that might be the place to go look for
I remember Julian Silverman, who was boss of Esalen for a while, and he really liked the word dis-ease.
I love that word.
I love it. I mean, he would say it with that flavor, and I got to like the word too. So at ease, we could say it's being sort of squared away in harmony with to whatever level, and dis-ease is when you're not. And I kind of like that word or that sense of that word. Yeah.
Right. So, these days they talk about not pathologizing everything. You don't have to make it into an illness, a pathology. You have some discomfort, some dis-ease, and, investigate it, see what you can do about it.
That's true. Don't we do that a lot with if someone's really off and mentally off too? They start that they want to be a medical term because they're feeling screwed up, and somebody will come up with a medical term for it, and now it's suddenly a heavy duty something.
Well, now we can give them a
Yeah,
pill
but
for it.
Really?
Now we can give them a pill for it once we have it.
Oh, and then that's it. The follow-up guys. Oh, let's make a buck on this one. Yeah. Okay. Pathetic. Anyway, human condition, people. Human condition. Sad indeed. Okay. Anything else before we talk about 1 by 2 by 3 by again tonight? No, that's it. Okay, what to say about 1 by 2 by? A couple of people I appreciate their view and stuff. Really like the 1 by 2 by 3 by. I always thought it was kind of cool, and so get some feedback from a couple other guys that I appreciate their sense of things, and they thought it was really cool. So let's hope you all think there's something there for you. I'm going to stand up after a bit. On the 1 by, I really want to remind you to feel. We're going to box ourselves in there a bit. I want you to actually feel the 1 by, not just say, okay, it's a smaller space. What should I think? What should I make out about this? It's like, no, feel it, experience it. And one reason I would like you to really feel a 1 by limitation is, let's say in daily life, we get pushed into a tighter level of ourself, from a Robert to a Bobby to beginning to be a weird Bobby, that I recognize that as soon as possible so I don't go too far to where I'm really crazy. And this has been mentioned before, where I try to get you to feel an energy push. Just so you sort of recognize when you're being pushed a bit, because the push is going to not just be physical, but it's going to spin you off into a certain train of thought and further out and weirder. So to actually experience the limitations of a 1 by, that can give you a warning buzzer, I need a word. Help me with a word here.
An alarm?
An alarm that you're starting to get a little boxed in there. And my old phrasing, don't sign a contract if you find yourself getting anywhere near a 1 by 1. Do not have a heart-to-heart with your spouse. Do not drive faster. Dumb stuff like that. So to recognize where you are on this lineage of Bobby Robert Nadeau, or in this case, a 1 by, a 2 by, which is a fair day, sort of 3 by, which is not a bad day. Hey, it's a good day kind of pattern. If we have time tonight, I'd like to slip in a 4 by. Last time we did 1, 2, 3 by. I'd like to slip in a 4 by if we have time. In bringing that up, did anybody out there who has done the 1 by 2 by 3 by class last year when we did it get sort of an excitement? Oh boy, we're going to do a 4 by. Did anyone get anything like that?
Absolutely. I can't remember the last time I saw a 4x.
Then to throw a wet blanket over our Friday night party here, I have to say, I introduced 1x, 2x, 3x as a general direction and a simple pattern that I found pretty simple and useful, and other people found it simple and useful. That you were free this last year to do a 4x, to do a 5x. Nobody stopped you. You had the pattern. You had 1, 2, 3. Then you do 4. You had a 4, then you can do a 5. So I wanted to throw a bit of a wet blanket over you guys who got excited and said, people, it's been there for a whole year. Did you yourself do a 4? So to bitch, I just wanted to bitch, that's all. You okay with that bitch, Kenny?
I'm so glad to help.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x. Remember, that's basically just a dimensional approach. Certain level dimensionality, things are a little heavier. So I'm heavier. The world around me is starting to show heavier. That's how I see it. Finer dimension, we're calling it 2x. It's just dimensionality, and it's here and now, and we have different ways of moving into it. We can settle, we can clear, we can trade in, we can downtime, and then the next is light again. To be at that next level. And if it takes you some minutes on that trade in or changing from 1 to a 2 to 2 to a 3, you'll get better at it and faster with it. I thought we did pretty fast last year. I'm just tromping through a 1x, 2x. What we used for reference was actual stepping. Tonight we'll do that pattern of stepping for 1 and 2. On 3, I might change the pattern and not use stepping, but to remind you about, we could downtime this, we could trade 2 in. When you trade in the whole world of 2, 3 is beginning to show, or whatever forms of that you like, that we've sort of covered, right? Letting go, trading in, clearing, on and on and on. So find your own comfortable forms. Blah, blah. Anybody, anything before I stand up and we do a 1x to start? Anything? It's cold down here tonight. Nothing? Again? Zilch? Nada?
Shehan, Chris here
Okay.
from New Zealand.
I'm sorry, who?
Chris from New Zealand.
Okay.
I
Hey,
caught up
Chris.
with you going the down instead of going up, to just sort of see what's happening with myself, if I'm upset or something's going on within me. Go into the negative, from 1 to half to quarter, not quite that fast. Sort of
If I go a quarter, I'm gone, man. I'm crazy, man. I don't go that tight.
Well, I did slice thinner, but it was quite interesting. And then sort of to know that you can shift out was quite nice.
Yes. No, when I introduced this to my, had a group of therapists in LA for a long period of time. I think we had monthly classes ongoing for a year and a half, I don't remember. But they loved tightening in, and they got to experience their own style of insanity. They loved that game, and they all recognized their own style of insanity. They were versed enough in their own craziness where they, oh yeah, that's me, I'm crazy. But again, and the ability of getting out of there, going back to sanity and a bit better. Yeah, it's cute.
Thank you.
Yeah. I noticed mine change. I checked it out for a moment the other day. My old one, tightening in, tightening in, tightening in. I'm paranoid or whatever. I'm paranoid. I did one the other day, tightening in, tightening in, and it was something else. I don't remember right now. I have to go over it again. It wasn't that important for me, but just I just noticed, oh, this is not that one. It's so I've changed through the years. Whatever. Okay, it was a different kind of insanity, potentiality, but I'm blank on what it was right now. Okay, standing. Oopa. Oopa, oopa. Okay, there we are. We got a new microphone, so checking. Can you hear me okay?
Hear you
Somebody-
fine, Sensei. Thank you.
Fine. Okay. Okay. We're coming down in. So bring it on in a bit. Bring it on in a bit. Okay. Easy. Get ready to feel. Thinking. And if next is probably thinking about feeling. The thinking aspect is tricky. No actual feeling. And I figure I'm thinking about actual feeling a bit. Actual feeling. Okay, now here's our setup. One step, boom, and there's a wall here. One step, and there's a wall here. Corresponding wall here, and a ceiling here. Okay? So in the middle of that, and the energies that are there, that's all that exists. That's all you get. There is no more right now. You cannot think your way out of this about how nice it is in Hawaii or whatever. This is it, people. You're in a one by one. The energies available to you, the qualities that are within those energies, qualities for me are about the same. The qualities that are there are your qualities. So everybody could be a bit different in their one by one because their qualities are different. The energies, qualities that are there mix up you, a character person. Okay. So in this sense, it's mixing up some level of a Bobby. Okay. Feel yourself. The energies are mixing you up. Breathe yourself, feel yourself. Again, it's a limited amount. We're in a one by one. Feel yourself. Feel yourself. For example, first things I'm noticing, a hesitancy. I'm not sure. Even physically, if you ask me to step out strong or hit the line, I can't really do it. If I do it, it'll be half-assed. I'll do it in a hesitant manner. I'm not sure. That's mine. What's your sense of anything here as we mix up a little bit better? A person, you, in a one by one situation? No, a one by one world. A one by one world. Feel your body. I know it's a little hard to straighten up for me. There's starting to be a little stronger catch in my back. I kind of prefer here, believe it or not. This feels strange. It's a strain. I sort of can't do it very well, or I don't want to do it. This is natural. Hey, hi, how are you? Huh? And I doubt if I would smile as a one by one. Feel yourself. Feel yourself. The energies mix up you, character. Feel yourself. Okay. I noticed my foot planning is not well. I sort of staggered a second ago. I didn't make that up. I feel staggering. The sense of having deeper feet or anything like that is beyond me. This is the fact right here. I'm sort of staggering on the surface. Brad, what do you think?
My first, my joints are a little stiff. They
Okay.
don't move. I mean, I move okay, but it's not, great. Like I said, just stiff.
Okay. Cold, frozen joints. Okay. Feeling yourself. What's your view of a situation? What's your view of the world or a situation? What's Bobby's view? What's your Bobby's view? You're a one-by-oneer.
It's the way things are, and I can't do anything about it.
Okay,
It's not going to get any better. It just
yeah.
is.
The way they are, why bother? It's not going to get any better. Just the way they are.
Yeah.
Okay. I would tire out fast. I can feel that. I don't have good endurance here, in any sense of the word endurance. You're a one-by-oneer. One-by-oneer. It's interesting how my tummy's kind of pulling in. And this part is pulling into this whole range here, is pulling in. It just keeps pulling in that way. I'm going to begin to doubt my manhood. Sure as hell. No, I'm already doubting my manhood. Just not sure about anything. Should we take a break and talk about it? Open mic. Okay.
Bob,
Yes.
it's a miracle I could ever get past one by, because the one by guy is pissed off, annoyed, and doesn't want to do anything. He's just leave me alone.
Just be pissed.
Yeah.
I think every neighborhood has one guy or one person that lives in a one-by-one. Just don't bother him. He's pissed all the time at everybody for anything, right?
Right.
You got him. There he is. So again, I wanted you to feel some of the physical things. So if they ever hit you during the day, if I feel myself being pulled in or slouching overly, well, Katya will get on my case, but anyway, I'd like to catch it before I get too far. So that's why I wanted you to really feel, not just think about this stuff, but to feel it. And then there'll be thoughts of a one-by-one naturally there. But to just have thoughts about them without the feeling is not a good habit, even in a one-by-one. Okay, so more feeling about it. So you'll recognize it if we ever get squashed into that level or anywhere near it. Okay, open mic. Somebody?
Since this is Lauren,
Yes.
and I'm just going to add my spotlight here. Just by contrast to Steve, who just described how the one-by-one Steve is pissed off, the one-by-one Lauren felt like a victim, like no options to get out of the way of anything. And, whatever was going to happen, couldn't dodge it, couldn't, maneuver.
Yeah.
And so that felt like, didn't like that feeling at all.
Yeah.
It's equally distasteful, but it's completely different from what Steve described.
Yeah. I also didn't think to do it tonight, but to ask the Aikido people as a one-by-one what techniques they wouldn't do if they were in fact could make it to the mat. And an example with Lauren would be no ski, no fast ski, because I can't get out of the way.
And,
But
and
you know
it's
you
always been
can't.
and it's always been a challenge for me. And
Aha! He's carrying a touch of one by one. Aha!
the other thing I wanted to share was that I felt that when we did this the first time last year, we were all in lockdown, and the one by one, I felt like we were living in a one by one, and the exercise as we went to 2 by 2 and 3 by 3, which produced such a sense of relief and expansion without any change in the physical reality or constraints of daily life. It was really, instructive, really, really instructive. And so we're not so physically confined anymore, but I think it still really works.
I can't change that. I can change me.
Yes. Yes. It was.
Ta-da! Ta-da! Yeah.
Perhaps someone else has something to add.
Yeah, somebody?
This is Patrick.
Hey, Patrick.
Hi. Yeah, my physical experience of a one by one me was my chest got tight and it was more difficult to breathe. And as far as how I relate to situations, I didn't want to be bothered. I just wanted the problem or whoever it was coming to me to go away and leave me alone.
Yeah, I remember, I think from last year, I wouldn't pick up the phone. If the phone rang, I wouldn't want to pick it up because I wouldn't want to hear anything or deal with anything. So I can relate. Yeah.
Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sensei, this is Tom.
Yeah.
I feel I concur with Patrick, and my experience even today was catching myself if I was holding my breath as if I wasn't breathing. And I'm standing over a task and I suddenly take a huge gasp of air in and realize for the last minute I wasn't really breathing. And that's the one by one that I often feel.
So again, trying to give people a warning sign if you like to use breathing as any kind of daily reference, whatever, to notice if it starts to get that way, knowing it's going to get that way, let you know you're heading too tight, careful. And if you can, move into a better level. If you can't, be careful. Okay. Just know it's not the ultimate reality, but you're stuck there for a bit. That's fine. Just be careful. I didn't say it was great and you're going to have fun there, but just be careful. Maybe time to just watch a dumb movie. Okay.
Well, Sensei, this is Lauren again. If I could just jump on that it's my personal experience that when I get wound up, I will tilt forward. And not only if I'm walking, but if I'm in a meeting or something, I'll get that very distinctive collapse, just like you described.
Yeah.
And it's a tell for me that I'm getting into a one by.
Yeah.
And if I take that moment and simply stand up or straighten up, and one breath will actually change my attitude and my sense. So it's not just that when you move to the 2 by, you get to feel like you're standing up more, but if you stand up more, it helps move you to a 2 by.
Yeah.
My own experience.
Yeah. Yeah, these moves can get faster. That sounded like a faster form or something there. Should be able to get faster with these things. We okay on a 1 by? No one happened to
This is
mute?
Gina.
Gina, yes, Gina.
This was so much more intense than last year. I mean, I almost started crying immediately. I felt so trapped and my skin hurt and then it started to go deeper. I don't think I've ever felt like this. It was scary.
Life is scary. Life is scary.
Help.
Yeah.
Whoa. I'm not going back there.
Yeah. or what Kenny and I were talking about, or what Kenny was talking about, something about what you said about the skin. Kenny, weren't we talking about something about tighter disease kind of things, tighter illness?
Yeah.
So I thought hers was interesting, and that the skin itself actually, yeah. I got to go to a skin doctor. No, you don't, lady. You got to get out of the 1x1 first. We'll go further than that. We'll tap deeper, finer, so it can radiate out through. And within that is a healing potential. So different topic another time, but okay. Are we all right on 1x1? Should we move into a 2x2? Thank God, a 2x2. Okay. Let's walk a 2x2. Okay, easy. So there we are. Okay. 1, 2, click. Okay. 1, 2, click. There. Okay. Walls a little bit more here. See a little bit more. Okay, 2x2. 2x2. Okay, just hang out for a bit. There's a little more energy in a 2x2. It mixes you, character, body, feel yourself. The energy's here. Feel yourself. 2x2 amount of energies. Feel yourself. I already notice I'm breathing better, fuller, deeper. My chest feels a little chestier. And it tells me I can sort of be positive out there. Certain amount of positiveness. These are mine, yours are yours. 2x2 mixes up me as a 2x2er. Little change of name. I don't like Bobby so much here. Start really more towards Robert. Feel yourself as a 2x2. Feel yourself. Oh, my foot connection is deeper through the ground. Remember on my 1, I was staggering on top of the surface. Here I have a little bit of depth of foot. Feel yourself. Feel yourself. A little more back up. Got some back support. Boom, boom. If we're doing a walk under pressure right now, my 2x2, he's not fantastic, but he's not bad. He's not bad. He's backed up, almost flow, not quite a flow yet, but getting close. Feel yourself. Feel yourself. Feel yourself. You're not perfect. That's why I call it a fair day, bad day, fair day. Now we have degrees, depends on how you're playing. It could be a good fair day or a fair day. It's your call as to where you're at. Feel yourself. Feel yourself. Pretty good. My underpinnings, my legs area, it's not bad, but it could be stronger. It's not bad, but I'm aware if I were at the gym pumping iron, I would know it's time to do more leg work. I'd have to do more squats, more extensions, something. I want to build this up a bit. Not quite. This upper part feels much stronger than this part here. So if I were barbelling, I work this area heavily this month. What's your view of the world, or at least the situation you're in, or the world? What's your view as a 2x2er? I can handle small, medium projects. I'm not sure how big a project, but normal stuff, could sort of cope with that. Not necessarily eagerly looking forward to problems, but within reason, I'm okay. As an Aikidoist, static techniques, or with a little movement techniques. A lot of movement, like a group attack, not quite. I just know I wouldn't respond. My response wouldn't be great. But for basic, yeah, I could kind of do that. Got a sense of yourself in a 2x2 U? Okay. Okay. You 2x2. Tell me about you 2x2. Definitely wider chest, better breathing for me. What's you?
Yeah, Bob, I had a very similar thing. The first thing, well, the word and the experience came about the same time, was confidence. My chest felt puffed out, and I felt like I could handle things.
Okay, yeah. So again, in daily living, if I find my chest compressing, so I have a lot of body awareness, or it'd be nice if you all had body awareness, and you feel something start to compress, should clue you in. Okay, something's going on. If you can, move to a better level if you can, or if you can't, be a little careful. No, it's a little bit of this, so be a little careful, cautious, whatever the word is. Somebody.
This is Patrick. For me, my chest was more relaxed. I was able to breathe more easily, and I found myself just having an exhalation in that relaxation, but also a sense of relief that there was more room. And as far as my reaction to the situation, I felt like there was hope now.
Yes, there's a chance for me, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Somebody. 2x2er.
Sensei, Bob
Linda
Leitner.
Eskin. Go ahead, Bob.
Bob, go.
Yeah, I found myself turning. There were new directions. In 1x1, I was stuck in one place. My hands were cold. My feet were cold. Nowhere to go.
Yeah.
2x2, my hands and my feet are warming up. I'm turning. Oh, there are directions here. Aikido in a phone booth. At least I've got a phone booth, and I don't want to sit. The energy's starting to flow.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Linda.
Yeah, very much the same. Able to breathe, having a little more space. And what really struck me about the first one was how stuck I felt. Like, couldn't, like, not a lot of potential for anything there. And in 2x2, it was like, oh, there's some possibility. There's a little room to play, experiment, grow.
Yeah. If we get stuck in a certain level, let's say the 1x1 where you can't maneuver out or something, maybe sometimes we ought to just live with it. If you're, I don't know what words to use, if you're stuck there, just live with it and don't do anything. Sit down and read a dumb book, watch a dumb movie. Maybe sometimes not to try to fight it. I'm not saying this well again tonight, but live with yourself as best you can. If you get to move to a better level, great. If you can't for whatever reason, don't panic. This too will pass. There'll be a different beat later or tomorrow. Hang in there. Whatever. Somebody on a 2x.
Hi, Sensei. This is Andrew.
Hey, Andrew.
I feel like I'm looking at the world like a teenager. Fresh eyes.
I
not
forget
exactly-
what that's like. Could you remind me what that means?
Not fully developed. I kind of like a wild horse, you're kind of free, but you don't know any limitation. You're not squared away at a certain level. Like for me at level 1, I was kind of leaning forward a little bit, not fully standing up straight. Level 2, it is kind of like, I feel like I want to stand up straight, but it's not quite there yet.
Yeah, as I say, the different levels. Some people's 2x2 will be a little smaller, whatever. Others they're 2x2. They want to have it a bit bigger, but you're allowed leeway in there. So the counts are arbitrary. Okay, so did I say that right? Am I speaking clearly tonight? That your first move might be first grade to second grade. Somebody else's first move might be first grade to their third grade. It doesn't matter as long as you're using your own system, your own measurement. My measurements mean something to me. The Bobby Robert Nada or the 1, 2, 3, they mean something to me because I have a sense of them for me. Okay. Blah. Okay, how are we doing, people? Okay so far? Nothing more on the 2x?
Sensei,
Yo, who that?
it's Tom.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah, I felt more freedom in the 2x, just a little more, and as almost like create my own space, but I wasn't ready to let anybody else in that space in a 2x. I'm just starting to feel my own sense of self and having some grounding, some space below the floor. But it's a little tight still to let somebody else in, but much better than a 1x, much better.
Yeah. So what Tom is saying is he would stay a bachelor a little bit longer than some other guys. And there's no set rule, right? You like 3-month gap between the ladies? Somebody else likes the 6-month gap, whatever. So, it's your own count. Deal with yourself. Okay, people. Oh. Now, on this one, instead of walking, see, what I would hate to happen is, let's say we're getting to a 7x7, and somebody calls me and says, Sensei, I can't do a 7x7 because my living room is too small. Did you follow my trajectory there? Ridiculous. It's a metaphor kind of thing to stepping. So instead of stepping, quick moments with the 2x2, easy. 2x2, okay. And whatever your form is, a trade-in, a downtime, a clearing, a letting go of everything of a 2x, let it all go, clear the decks. And here, click, is the beginnings of a 3x, easy. I fell asleep, I did downtime, I let go from the 2x, trading it in, your own words, your own style. And boom, in the land of 3x. This one I'd like to be a little more circular, centered circular. Instead of the squared away form of 2x, 3x walking. In a 3x, easy. I want to pick up the center first. Then for me, the parameters. Remember, I'm a center first guy. First center and then parameters. Circle. Now within that 3x, again, certain amount of energy spiraling around or qualities. and they mix me up character. Feel your body. Breathe yourself, character. Move yourself a little bit. Feel yourself. Not enough full character. 3x3 mixing. All the energies here in a 3x3. Hey? 3x3. I feel taller. My voice is changing. I can feel it and I can hear it. My head and neck feels a little straighter, cleaner, clearer. Feels like my head's on right, whatever that means. Definitely still chest here. I almost want to ask Brad to punch me in the chest a bit. 3x3. I'm character. Feel myself. Me. Hips are getting stronger. Now that 2x. Still more under there, but much better than a 2x. Ooh. Don't know if I'm ready to do sumo yet, but getting close, getting close. Okay, feel yourself. If you're an Aikido, what would be comfortable techniques in an Aikido class for you? For example. And/or what's your sense of the situation or the world you're in? Feel yourself. What's your take? What's your sense? Brad, run through some of yours. Talk to him, Brad.
Yep.
Tell him about yours.
Yep. Okay. So in my 3x3, I had a new experience. I really felt like when I was 1x, whatever I was hanging on to that was causing issues, or whatever was holding me up, I felt like I didn't have a space in the 1x. But when I stepped into the 3x, I really felt like there was ample space to, whatever baggage I was carrying in the earlier dimensions, I was able to just let it go. And, there was space. And so, in terms of the other attributes and other, points, was able to, that was all available to me, which is a nice experience. But, when people say to relax, at the earlier levels, like I couldn't relax. I mean, it just wasn't possible. But, once you hit 3, there was plenty of space to let go and really a place to put all your baggage and move on. So, anybody else have other experiences?
And Brad, you're asking for other people to speak up?
Yes.
Brad, Linda Eskin again. Hi. What I noticed first, along with just physically having more space, was the sense that I had a little bit extra to give. Like I maybe could support someone. I had a little bit extra to offer to others.
Thank you, Linda.
Danny here.
Yes, Danny there.
I found because you encouraged us to settle or let go of from, I hadn't done that from level 1 to level 2, and I now know that I had level 1 mixed up with not the level, sorry, that's our COVID levels. With
You
two by
carried
two
it
and
in
one
to
by
it.
one, they were
Yeah.
all pretty mixed up, and I was quite unstable.
Yeah.
And having let level 2 and 1 go, I had a strong willingness to walk.
Yeah.
And a confidence. And when I did
Hmm.
take the 3 steps, I felt like they were probably the best 3 steps I've taken in the last 3 months, which is really exhilarating. And I felt myself filling with lots of energy, and then my arms started to swing in quite an unusual way, swinging to the front of myself. And it was very, very enjoyable, and I looked forward to every step. Yeah, my outlook was much brighter.
Yeah. Quick story on the arm swinging. So I'm in the Marine Reserves. I'm 17, and we're marching, and the sergeant zips into the squad, whatever the group wasn't squad, a bigger group, and apparently when I'm marching, I got one arm active and the other one is not activating, and he just moved my arm. Because a Marine would be more present, squared away, at least a 3x3er, and his arms would work that way. If you got one arm and a dead arm, you're not a Marine yet. You're a 2x2er. No 2x2ers allowed in the Corps. Anyway, but what you said about carrying a 2x into the land of 3x clouds the issue. That's almost a whole topic on itself. But again, isn't that why we clear and really clear, so that the next stage set, I kind of think of it like a curtain closing, and then the next stage set is there, and it's a 3x3 stage set. It's a better stage set. That if I still have furniture or decor from scene 2, and now it's scene 3, but that same furniture is there, and it's supposed to be an outdoor scene. It's screwy. Can't figure this out. Wait a minute, it's supposed to be in a park with a park bench. What's that 3-sectional couch doing there? And a TV set in the park? No way. So yeah, we confuse things, but
I think also I was in a hurry to leave that 1 by 1. I definitely wasn't happy there.
Yeah. I understand that. A lot of time, my 1 by 1 area is I don't know, and I hate not knowing. So I understand that. That's how it affects me. Anyway. We okay so far? Anybody else?
Sensei, this is Patrick.
Hey, Patrick.
I found myself with 3 feeling much freer to move and moving in ways that weren't planned or intentional, just moving around and really enjoying that, not having any agenda for the movements, just letting them come naturally and with a sense of flow.
Yeah.
And then with respect to the situation, I found myself being more willing to engage beyond myself.
Mm-hmm. So in the dating world, Patrick, you got to be a 3x3, no less. No less. You ain't going to make it out there in the world, Patrick. You know that now, though. You got that down, right?
Yeah.
It's a discussion Patrick and I have sometime about the dating game. Anyway. And also what he said about that freer movement, there's a place in Aikido where it may not be heavy group attack, but you got a few folks moving around you and it's a light group attack and where you got no agenda, you're just enjoying the movement and free to whatever is what I felt there. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You want to try a 4x4? We've got a couple of minutes. I think we can do that. Yeah, let's try it. That'll be interesting. That'll be interesting. Okay. Okay. Again, let's not walk it. 3x3, pretty good, pretty good. Feel more capable, all of that. Okay. Now, some people are afraid to move on to a 4x4 because they're afraid they'll lose, that the 3x3 will get lost. They don't have a good enough sense that it's sort of, for me, I call it impossible. That if you like 3x, you're going to love 4x. I just trust the system of finer to finer to finer, heading towards a more original, and the more original is perfect as hell. I don't have any trouble, I don't think, letting go of a certain level to get to another level. But in the human condition, we do have that problem. A lot of guys get so good at a certain level to do any kind of letting go of that or trading that in. They're really afraid because they got so much going on for them at this level. Did I say that right again? Okay. So why don't people continue and continue? Those things will crop up for some people. No, this is good enough. Thank you. No more. Is not an unexpected reaction in the human condition. Seen it before. So 3x, some form of trading in your form. Easy, easy. Clearing your form. Easy, easy. I like more depth because it's a fuller picture. And I'll give it a shot. And here is a 4x world. You might sort of check it. Should be a center there. Clear circumference there. Semi, but not full enough yet. I'll hit it again. 4x. Feels brighter. There's a lot of twinkling going on in here. Put it in the body. Know what's going on with the body. Feel it, feel it, feel it. It's a little bit of vibrancy. For me in Aikido, energy flow stuff would be ping. It'd be pretty easy. Pretty easy. Feel, feel, feel. Feeling before thinking. Feeling, feeling. Feeling, feeling, there'll be knowing. Feeling first. 4x. The energies in the 4x are finer. By law, dimensional pattern. Finer energies mix up. Fuller, finer character. Feel yourself. There's a spring in my step potential. I can feel a bounce. If we were to have a jumping contest, how high we can reach or something, I'd be kind of interested in that right now. Feel yourself. In Aikido, I want to, I don't know what to call it, perfection of techniques or sharp. Wouldn't mind practicing detail. Detail, something like that. Feel yourself, feel yourself. 4x4. Centered and circled and centered. Feel yourself. Feel yourself. 4x4. again, that, I don't say brilliance, not brilliant yet, but that sparkly feeling. And I feel it through my eyes, they're sparkling a bit. I feel almost like I'm feeling an aura or glowing a bit. I walked into a room and I'm dating, we're talking about dating. I feel like somebody there ought to notice. Bing, there's a lot of bing going out. Just radiating out a bit. I feel bigger than I normally feel. You told me, reminded me how little I weigh. I'd be a little temporarily surprised. Really? That's all I weigh? I feel bigger, fuller. What are you guys getting? I'm going to call that for me temporarily the sparkling zone or sparkling level. Hey.
Sensei, I really like this one.
Well, you should.
Yeah. This is where I feel like, you know, in some techniques where the energy is flowing out of my fingers, it's flowing beyond me. It's like an energy arm or, yeah, I think this is my favorite.
By 5 is better, but okay.
Yeah. Going there, going to get there.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes we try to teach people to do things when they're in a 1.5 by a 1.5, and they can't do them because it's not done at 1.5. It's done at a 3 by or a 4 by. That's when it can begin to happen. Okay, so teaching them more little details about how to do something is not too cool. Help them to get more squared away first. Yeah, but get more squared away so that they're at the level where those things can happen. See, to go the other way around, it throws me, people. It throws me. Anyway,
hey,
somebody.
Sensei, this is Dennis.
Hey, Dennis.
You know, I just realized this is the first time that I actually have smiled in the past couple of days. I just kind of caught myself like, oh, wow, I'm smiling as I'm sitting back down here.
I don't want to tell you, your wife called me the other day and mentioned that. That's why we're doing this.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I'll have to make sure to thank
for days.
You know, there was a big jump for me between 1 and 2, because again, you know, the last couple of days I was really just holding on to and really tight, and but the 4 that I felt a lot more physical support coming from behind and from underneath. And it felt just a lot of support, that there was something there that, okay, all right, we can do this.
Yeah. How nice can people? Can you see how nice this is to go from a place where there's virtually nothing, 1 by 1 kind of thing, to a place where you're just naturally being supported. You've got your own support. It's always been there. We just haven't been there at that level, that dimension of you where it's there and it's available. It's not like we had to do a lot of work in a 1 by to get this to happen. Yeah, we started there. Yeah, we experienced it for a moment. We moved along. Well, we're always free to move along, learn a few tricks. You can move along faster, fuller, boom. Get this mix to happen quicker. It's almost can be a Shazam kind of thing. feel it fuller, feel it fuller, feel it fuller. And the treasures, can we call it that? The treasures that are there, the treasures of support, the treasures of confidence, the treasures of freedom, the treasures of variety of possibilities. Like, Jesus, people, these things are here for us. To me, this is very exciting. When I first realized my very early times in this work, to realize this stuff is here, like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. And it was free. It was just me touching that place, and there it was. And basically, it was free. It was there. Wow. Wow. Remember, I come from a family of workers. You want it, you got to work hard for it. Yeah, some hard work and learning how to settle and living with yourself and all of that, but not really work. It was there and it was free. Wow. Excited the hell out of me. And I see people now, they don't seem excited. They catch something and I say to them, wow. And they go, yeah, what's next, Sensei? You got anything else? What the hell? I don't know what's with the world. What the hell's going on out there? Somebody, go ahead.
You know, Bob, going back to the 3, I started to feel a shift almost from somebody you would say like you're more center than situation. But with 3, I was ready to go out into the world. I felt a little bit more. And then 4, not only out into the world, but like you said, there's this charisma, this stuff's coming off of me so that I impact the world without trying.
Yes, without trying. Yes, I sort of wanted to say that, and I couldn't come up with the words at the moment. Yeah, it's at the party where I'm looking for lady companionship. It's not like you got to push on them. You know, it's there, but it's like without trying. You just hit that spot, and it's like without trying. So in a certain way, it's not work. I'll say that, but yes, thank you. Cool. No excitement in a 4x4?
Hi, Sensei. This is Andrew again.
Yes, Andrew. Give me something good.
I used the wild horse and the teenager metaphor, and he's now in college, and he kind of feels like he can enter. You know, he's got a lot more confidence. He's not as wild, but he has the energy, I guess, more matured.
Mm-hmm.
I keep on picturing like it's like a knight squire trying to earn his ropes to become a knight, kind of halfway in between.
Yeah.
He's not trying to control the horse, but they're working as a team. I don't know. That just makes sense to me.
No, it's a normal good step along the way, you know.
Sensei, this is Dave from Chicago.
From Chicago.
Yeah, I would echo the sort of effortlessness that comes with the 4x4. That the 3x3, you feel like you have to do something. That it's me doing something. 4x4, it's there, and it's gonna impact those around you. It's tangible.
Yeah. Well, since I had a little difficulty getting that exact description across to me, but we did dialogue someplace there about something like this, where you don't work, and yet, obviously I can't even repeat his sense of it, but something like we were talking about here, it's just sort of happening, but it's not, you have to work it. But some people, as it begins to happen, go out and sort of work it, and then they kind of lose it. Something like that. But it just had trouble with the words of, you don't really have to work it, but there's something going on, but you don't have to work work at it maybe or something. I'll have to go over my notes again and see if I can get it a bit clearer. 4x4. Wow. Give me a wow. Somebody.
Sensei, Chris here from New Zealand. The
Yes.
A real awareness of the system, like, and you're sort of the system's really active, really moving. You're, for me, sort of physically, sort of slightly behind. You're aware something's moving quicker than you, or not quicker, but ahead of you. And it's wanting to do stuff. It's active. It's alive.
I felt that when I put my hand out, that there's a moment there where it felt like it was there, and then my hand was there, but there was something there and there. But I had a sense of something there before I went there. Bing. Hard to describe, but yeah, I got your drift.
Thank you. Great.
Sensei, this is Patrick.
Yes, sir.
For me, the physical on 4 was that I found myself having a downbeat, and then in being in an upbeat, a down flow, and then there being an up flow from underneath the ground that felt as though it was filling me up and making me have a little bit more power. And as far as the situation goes, I found myself kind of being willing to invite people to engage me. You know, I started in 1x1 with leave me alone, don't bother me, I've got my own problems. And this time I felt like, oh, I'd welcome you coming and talking with me.
Yeah. Anyway, it's sort of the form that I use, Patrick, where my downtime hits a certain spot, and from that spot, the next light time, if you would, or the next dimensional world that I'm in, the 4x4, I think. So it's not just me, the character, it's me in the world, the center and the circle and the center. It encompasses all of that. Yeah. Again, not speaking great tonight. We're getting close to the end here, people. Anybody all excited about a 4x?
Yes, I got excited about it, and I like your use of the word treasures. And one of them came to me, and that was benevolence. I felt a horizontal energy flowing through me backwards and forwards, and there's greenery around me. I'm outside, and it felt to me like I was in contact without even trying to do anything, that the natural world was flowing through me, and it reminded me of a benevolent world which I haven't thought of or felt for a long time. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Remember the inner core of our self, truer self, your qualities are more available and will more readily show or be present. So benevolence sounds like it might be one of your main ones, because it's coming up here. So may not be your first one, but it's got to be one of the early ones for you, because it's showing here, benevolence. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm sure it's not too strange. You're kind of a good family man, as I see you. So benevolence and being the granddad, the daddy, the boss man there, I'm sure that's there. So not your first go around on that sense of things. Okay, people, we ate up our time. So enjoy next week, your Thanksgiving. Of course, be careful on the road. Check what level you're going to drive from. 1x ain't going to be good for anybody. 2x, I'd up in the holiday traffic with people being a little crazier. I would get to hopefully a 3x3 level of view driver. at least has a little more outer awareness, reacts a bit faster, better. I'm not asking that much. I'm not saying be a 5-by driver, a 6-by driver. We're not at the Grand Prix here. But do note it and get some extra practice time in. Holiday traffic. Take that moment, that 2 moments, that 3 moments. 3x3 as a driver. Okay, yeah.
Thank you so much, Sensei.
Thank you. Thanks for hanging out.
I'm going to end with a sound.
Thank you, Sensei. Good night, all.
Thank you, Sensei.
Good
Thank
night.
you, Bob.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Sensei. Thank you,
Thanks to all
everyone.
you.
Sensei, good night.
Good night, Sensei.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Sensei.
everyone.
Thanks for a great class.
Good night, everyone, and thank you.
Thank you.
And blessings to you, wonderful guys.